Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another episode of Hearthstone. Let us go because we have a lot of work to do. I think what we'll do is we'll do Paladin, Warrior, Shaman, and Warlock. Let's see. Paladin and Shaman is who we'll play as. No, we'll play as Warrior and Shaman. So let's get in there and start playing. Hopefully we'll run into a bunch of people that are really bad so we can get at least 2 plus, at least 5 wins is what I'm hoping for on this episode. Last episode was pretty long, this episode might be pretty long too. I'm thinking here, and this is a thought I've been having for in a different format for probably 5+ years. I have, like, I don't talk about it a lot, but I have quite a lot of anime movies and TV series. Probably more TV series than movies. A lot of which at this point are pretty old and not even what anime is today. And far too many of which I've never even opened or watched. And my thought was, how can I get myself to really enjoy this? Now, I've even compounded this problem because I also have a lot of comic books that I need to finish up. I want to just kind of get a complete collection of the new 52 and then say, alright, I'm done. Let's kill this guy. But I don't know how to motivate myself to watch it. I was in a very different situation when I got them. It was before I was out of school mostly, or I was working, but I was working part-time type stuff. I had obviously some income to afford them and probably wasted a lot of money on them, but honestly I think that that's not really the case. I think of these as modern classics that could easily be lost to the tales of time.
Battle commencing.
That's probably a little bit hyperbolic, but
battle commencing.
That is how I like to look at them. But I had people who wanted to watch them every now and then. People who wanted to talk to me about them. I had a whole almost circle of friends. Maybe it was more just a line or a triangle of friends because there weren't that many. But the point being, there was definitely more social motivation to do it, and also I was younger, which inherently is probably the problem. I'm just not young enough to have that kind of passion. And it was probably just a fad passion anyways, if I'm gonna be really honest. It probably was the case that I was just being a little excessive with it, and when I was younger I definitely had a lot of that gotta catch 'em all Pokemon mentality, not particularly for Pokemon, but for anything I was interested in. I had collections, and when most people say collection, they say, well, I have 12 things I could put on the shelf, and I'm like, no, that's not in my mind what a collection is. A collection is when you are actively seeking out to own every single possible thing. So I had like attempts to be complete collections of things, and in general I think I knew what I wanted a lot more than most people. I think most people are indecisive or unsure. Just don't know. Let's see.
Into the breach!
That will kill that guy.
Let the pain
So-
stop me.
I just don't know how to motivate myself to get back to it. I've thought about, like, joining clubs, but almost all the clubs are college-based, so it would be
Give me a
this
quest.
weird thing of going to some kind of community center for a bunch of college kids, which even at this point I'm too old to even be hanging out with college kids. And sure, you can always go back to college, and sure, college has people that of all ages, but I don't really feel
A fight!
like that's what I would want to do. Who do I want to kill? Let's see. Put a random demon into the battlefield. Please kill this guy.
Job's done.
Everyone! Get in here!
So yeah, that's probably what I should do. For a short time when I was getting really into podcasts, when that was the whole new thing, and it was replacing what I was listening to for music, which I've never been a music fan. I'm literally one of those people, if you've never heard of them, that doesn't like music. I made a collection of just popular music of the time, because hey, it's popular music, people must know what they're talking about, was literally my concept. And I would listen to it, and it was fine music, it's just didn't really catch my ear or anything. On occasion I would listen to like anime music, but that's only impactful as much as if you actually... Oh, I gotta kill this guy, don't I? Oh, I am in trouble. I'm in trouble. How do you get a Kelp Azul down so early? So I need this guy to be one more powerful.
Everyone! Get in here!
Well, that'll work. No, it won't. Oh, that's awful. He's got me. Well played.
Well, I come.
Let's see how many cards he has. 17? Yeah. I don't think I could get him the deck. So, yeah. I was thinking about doing a podcast, seeing if I could get people to get on it and talk about it, but honestly, like the one anime, like straight anime podcast that I listen to now is Anime World Order, and I think they do it about as often as they can, which is once every 4 months or so. So that's hardly realistic.
Job's done.
And I listen now straight to movie review podcasts, even though I don't really watch movies. I did for a short time become pretty heavy into movies. So I've gone the whole gamut lately. Really broadened my palette for entertainment. Where I was always video games before, there was definitely a large break in which I stopped playing video games. But now I'm back to video games because really, it never really left me, and like I was never playing video games. I was severely reducing the amount, but the desire was always mostly there.
Job's done.
The longest break I think I had was between like the Wii and when I got my Xbox 360. So maybe a year at most, which I really wasn't buying any console games. Really wasn't playing anything. So I'm back to games now, and so I don't know why anybody would even help me or suggest anything to get me away from playing games, because I do it a lot, and that gets a lot of footage out there, and hopefully that helps make this a more successful career. But yeah, I would like to watch some of these things. The other problem is with movies, and even with everything, pretty much. I have a strange memory. I remember things when I see them again. And pretty much remember it all. And when I remember something or have seen it before, I am not really interested in watching it again. So even my favorite, I'm not gonna watch them more than once a year, at most. So I don't know how many of the shows that are on my shelf I could really feel justified in sitting through and watching, particularly when I know there's ones I haven't even started or finished. I guess I just always want new ones. It gets to the point where you would want to take on like an apprentice. This is a silly thought, I'm sure, to everybody that is, but it really does get to the point where I feel like I'm the master of video games. I'm a master of video games. I'm a master of movies, and I wouldn't really call myself a master on comic books yet, or probably ever gonna be. But
Light shall bring victory.
even on comic books, I have the Sandman series, and I read that less than 2 years ago, and while it was a great and fine series, I wouldn't really want to sit down and read it again. But if I had an apprentice where I could say, you play this game, I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to give you helpful hints and commentary, that would possibly, through seeing through new people's eyes, I think that would be really good. And that's why I listen to podcasts of people reviewing movies and stuff, is that I really like to see other people's comments on things like that. Do I want to kill this one? Might as well. Now, I did watch this video that I came across called, it's a PBS like YouTube video called Game Show or something like that, Game Showcase. And I don't know if I mentioned this story.
Is someone injured?
He was talking about like the Art Nouveau style of BioShock and how it had the characters, it forced the player to look up and was perfect and set the theme and all of that, and that it was total great. And I love BioShock 1, I love the Art Nouveau style, but both in the case of what he was saying about how it improved the gameplay flow and the appearance, and how it had the characters look upwards, which shows just an incredible lack of knowledge of gameplay design, because people in the know that it is a long-held anthem that is pretty much exactly always true that players don't look up in games. They just don't. They are trained in every other single game to look down, find that bullets, find the money, whatever you're collecting, collect the mushrooms. You're always looking down in video games. You put a nice skybox on your game, but you don't have things that are important upward. And I don't really feel like BioShock had anything important upward. And he was talking about how the Vita chambers stood out, and yes, of course they stand out. They're made to be brighter than the rest of the environment because that's your checkpoints and your spawns. But then he was also talking about like the Art Nouveau style, and I have a decent amount of knowledge of art styles, and I wasn't agreeing with what he was saying on that either. And so it was a very strange situation where I'm like, is this guy just totally wrong? Very strange situation. Very rarely do you find somebody who seems thoughtful, who seems to have thought things out, go up and just give a 20-minute speech and it all be completely wrong. Just absolutely wrong. I mean, almost like he was trolling. I don't think he was, but just a strange situation. And then he came back with questions, and the questions were obviously hand-picked because nobody was calling him out or disagreeing with him at all. And I'm like, wait a minute, somebody! This is the internet. Somebody would have disagreed with him. He was playing back questions and responses and comments that honestly felt like they might as well have been handwritten by him himself. It's not like I know this guy or what he's doing. It seems very strange. Very, very strange. So, yeah. To wrap up my previous thought, yeah, I've been having this thought and I'll have it again, I'm sure, but just don't know what to do with it. I wish I had infinite time, is one of the issues. If I had infinite time, then I would definitely be able to play every single video game and watch every single movie and do everything. Oh wow. I'm getting my butt handed to me today on this episode.
Feel the power.
So if I can just kill this guy next turn. Man, he's really doing well.
Well played.
But I wish, see that's why I like that Outer Limits episode where the guy, well there's actually two. There's one where the guy has a stopwatch that can stop time. And I think, spoiler alert for what is probably a 50-year-old episode at this point, was that he was crazy at the reveal. So I wouldn't want that. I'd want really a stopwatch to stop time. And then there was the guy who got locked in the safe, and then the nuclear apocalypse happens, and he's the only person left, and now he finally has time to read all the books, and he drops and breaks his glasses, which is a ridiculous episode because even if the entire planet is blown up except for the library full of books that you're gonna read, almost certainly there's gonna be other pairs of glasses you can find. You go to one glasses store, you can find glasses. I'm pretty sure. But I would like to freeze time, if I could. This is magical thinking, it will never happen, of course. I'd like to freeze time, just spend, like, freeze time, don't have to eat, don't have to, well, if I'm gonna get picky, don't have to eat, don't have to get haircuts, bathe, you just don't change, you're just alive, doing the thing you want to do. And I could just play every single game that ever existed. Ideally, if I could freeze time, I could probably walk into some video game collection or video game store and quote unquote borrow the games and bring them back as a responsible quote unquote borrower. But and just play them all and then have tons of footage. There inherently is some problems there. If time's frozen,
Job's done.
other things have to not be frozen. For example, the hard drives and computer has to still work. I'd have to get a ridiculous amount of hard drives to hold all the footage because I probably couldn't upload it to YouTube. The logic makes no sense, of course. There is no logic in this at all, obviously. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Well, whatever. But yeah, if I could just watch every single movie, play every single game, read every book I would want to read, just to catch up, just to be caught up. That would be excellent. That's exactly what I'd love to do. I would come back and it would have been possibly 100 years of just me learning things and doing, gaining knowledge. Do I want to hit this guy yet? No. Let's end the turn. If I can get this one and this one out next turn, then attack with this,
The gates
that'll
are
work pretty
open.
well. Let's see. This.
It's time for a little blood.
Hit this because it's gonna die anyways. Hit this. And then hit this and then return. Alright, good. I think I'll finally get a victory here.
The gates are open.
But yeah, if I could freeze time, I'd do so much. I'd just be like, why not just go the whole way? Why not build a mansion somewhere, your Fortress of Solitude? Why not build out that collection of games? Why not keep the games and just have them magically disappear from from stores' shelves? The stores would probably just be very confused. Why not become... That was one of the things of Superman, as far as to my understanding, which is very limited, is that his Fortress of Solitude also was this just giant museum of everything he could protect from his home planet.
You asked for it.
For Doomhammer.
But why not do that? Why not have your own little special place where you have everything you could ever want for the rest of your life? After a point, it just gets down to, I gotta keep myself healthy and alive to enjoy it all. And certainly there is a level. There is absolutely a level where after you've watched your millionth video
Hello.
of
Greetings, friend.
after you've watched your millionth hour of a video game, after you've watched your millionth hour of a movie, it's gonna eventually leave your mind. And at that point, you are definitely thinking to yourself, let's go watch it again. Also, at least in theory, because you get a new wrinkle in your brain every time you make a new neural pathway, and thus have a memory, in theory, eventually your brain is just gonna run out of space. After it's never really happened, at least to our knowledge, but yeah, eventually you're just gonna run out of space, and you're gonna need to have your cyborg hard drive implanted into your brain so it can hold even more storage. It's like that, like Johnny Mnemonic. I think Johnny Mnemonic had
Handle it!
like 100 gigabytes of space in his brain, which is a ridiculously small amount of storage, and that's exactly what I think would be what we'd eventually end up doing, is we'll just put hard drives in our brains and be like, here's 1,000 or 100 quadrillibytes, not even terabytes, probably at that point. Yeah, it'll probably even be higher than quadrillion. It'll probably be a huge number. I don't know if it would be like Google Bytes, where it's just one with 100 zeros worth of bytes of data behind it. Death Rattle, resummon this minion. Okay. So if we do this, we kill this, summoned, and when he was resummoned, it didn't do his battle cry. Darn it. I was kind of hoping it would. Well, that was a little bit of a waste. I could have resummoned this guy.
Tazdingo! Yes!
Let's play this again. And then end our turn. How many games have I done? It's kind of a problem here. I should have played more off screen, but I don't see a point to doing it. I may decide after a while here to make a point of it.
They'll never know what.
But I kind of need to decide quick whether I want to play off screen or not. I've got a lot of work to do when I think about it. Let's see. Can I do this? Alright, so that protects them from this, and now I just need these here, and this here, and let's kill this, and kill this, and do I want to kill this? I think I do. I think I can pull this off with a bloodlust, but let's give him Wind Fury first before we get too far into this.
Ready to ride.
Who's he gonna attack? Okay. This guy.
Feel the power.
Here. This guy here. And I think for protection reasons we're gonna just kill this guy here.
Job done.
And in the turn, that should work. I lost my Wind Fury. That's a little irritating. Give me something with charge. Alright, let's try this. I think I got it. Yes, I do. And an 11 extra attack. Finally another victory. So, how badly have we been playing? Pretty badly. We've gotten 2 victories out of what we were hoping to get 5. And let's play one more time. And then I think what I'm gonna do is just have it go to play a little bit and bring everything up to 4 wins and then come back. That puts a possibility in our 3rd episode. We're going to play 2 games
Victory or death.
and then be done. But the more likelihood is we'll lose at least one of those and get to 3 games. So this will be the last game.
I smell blood.
Battle detected.
Yep, just play that and end our turn.
Get in there and fight, maggot.
According to my handy dandy program, I've been going for 30 minutes. One of the other problems with the way I record is that I just want to jump right into the next episodes. So I won't actually spend the effort to double check that the video actually recorded and the audio actually recorded after each video. It's a hassle. I should do it. I totally should do it because that would put me in a situation where I'm never going to actually be saying, well, this was totally messed up. Like 5 episodes in, when there have been mistakes, I have done multiple episodes where if I had just looked at it and said, yeah, and double checked, I would have immediately recognized that. But the only time it's really a problem and when I shouldn't do it is some programs, PC games are crashing and buggy. I don't know if Xbox games weren't really, but they kind of feel like they were a little less buggy than what I've had for too high of a number. Too many games have bugged out or crashed in significant ways, and one of the things that a lot on occasion will do is if you alt tab out of them, they will just crash completely. So stopping a recording, alt tabbing, and then going and trying to go back can be a problem. Also, a lot of times you can't just save your game where you are. You usually can pause your game, although in Antechamber's case you couldn't even pause the game. Let's see, give a damage to this, and then silence this, and attack this. End the turn. So, but yeah, I need to go check the videos. Ideally, you'd want a capture box. That's the real solution here, is eventually just get a capture box and have a second PC where you can just watch on the screen it recording and everything going on. So you know when immediately or close to immediately when something like that happens. But the only time that the video is messed up has been the situation of me accidentally changing the scene on OBS, which I wish you could lock it out. I wish you could lock out so many settings on OBS and just be like, no, stay exactly how I want it to. I realize other people use it differently, but I just want you to stay where you are and do what you're doing. Now OBS does have a nice thing where if the game crashes, more often than not it just stays on the last scene of the game, which is nice. It's a lot nicer than having to sit there and
Job's done.
well, okay. If I was gonna do that, I should have used this, attack the face, then summon this guy. But yeah, if the game crashes and stays on the last scene, it doesn't drop down to your desktop usually, or depending on how you have it set up, it won't drop to your desktop. It won't say show error messages. It'll just freeze there, and then I can talk and sound foolish. Okay. Is this another explosive trap?
Job's done.
Yes.
Everyone, get in here! Everyone, get in here!
That worked quite well.
To my side.
So this here,
Everyone, get in here!
and then I'll kill this one because I need to make it so he can't do any extra damage to me. I'm gonna have to really turn this around. See, I have to basically kill this guy. What do I want to get rid of? That's gonna do 2 damage. Which means I'm gonna be down to 1 damage. All he has to do is 1 damage to me.
I feel icky.
Pain, speak to me.
So I have to be able to win on this turn. Fortunately, I can. very close. Talk about a last second turnaround. That was the biggest turnaround I've ever seen or played. Just going from 1 health. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to get 1 Paladin victory offline and 3 Paladin victories between Shaman and Warlock offline. And whenever I get either frustrated or tired of trying that, I will come back and do the 3rd episode. But that's going to be it for this episode. It's been very ranty, I know. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.